Hey guys, it's a live episode of SEC Porch Picks. We're going to get Jeff Daniels on here in a minute, hopefully. Jason, how was your last weekend?
I'm so excited to have one of the stars of Dumb and Dumber coming on with Jeff Daniels.
No. That's
different Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, different Jeff Daniels.
Okay.
But
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
he should be in that movie when he wears some checkerboard overalls.
I
went there.
I'm sure that he would appreciate you associating him with Dumb and Dumber.
Toilet scene.
I think that he's trying to get in now.
We're watching ourselves on the phone.
I see you. Here, let's see if we can send him a message and get him in here.
My weekend was great. If we're talking about football,
yeah, I mean,
it's a good weekend period.
You kind of alluded to the fact that they hadn't scored against Alabama the last few times. So
they had scored 9 points in the last 2 meetings previous to Saturday, Mississippi State and Alabama. And if you watch the game, they scored a touchdown with no time left on the clock.
So you're
they
saying
scored,
that's just a give me game?
They scored 15 points in the last 3. There was no time on the clock, so they didn't even kick the extra point. So
that's true. That's why it was just 6 to, what was it, 30?
30 to 6. 30 to 6. It was 24-0 at halftime. Alabama only scored once in the second half. So.
Hey, I had a good weekend. You want to know why? Florida didn't lose.
Because it didn't play.
That's right. They didn't play anybody this weekend.
Well, they play somebody this week, though.
Now, I've got something to say before we start on that game. If y'all will notice, there's also a question on here this week. How many of y'all are pulling for Florida against Georgia this week? I would really like to know, because I've had a lot of Tennessee fans, Dara Tedwell, come out and
outed you.
I did come out and go. I don't say this very often, but go Gators! I hope y'all win this weekend. And if Jeff can ever figure out how to get on here live, I guarantee you he will also be saying that he's pulling for the Gators this weekend against Georgia. Look, guys, that ain't happening. As much as I love my Gators and I hope that we win every game every year, I don't think we beat Georgia this weekend, guys.
We're gonna talk about that one first.
We can start in on that one. I don't know what's up with Jeff Daniels. I even sent him the link through Messenger, hoping that I would be able to solve this problem for him. But hey, technology's hard.
You see how he dresses sometimes. It's not hard to figure out. I can't figure out,
Look, houndstooth people, don't be knocking some people wearing checkerboards, okay?
They might have a hard time getting on, considering
considering
everything.
Just because y'all's greatest coach wore some houndstooth hat, that's all y'all can have.
He's not even our greatest coach anymore. I don't think.
You're gonna knock Bear Bryant off the podium and put Saban up there?
All right.
All right. So
I think they have won the same amount of national championships. I think, right?
I think so.
True? Is that true? Okay. All right. Where we gonna start?
We'll start with Florida, Georgia.
Florida, Georgia line. Florida, Georgia. What's the Florida, Georgia line? It's 22.
It was. I don't know if it's changed.
It says 22.5 on ESPN.
So now they've even given them a half more point.
We're not talking about covering spreads. I think
I don't think Georgia covers the spread.
Yeah, I don't know if they do.
I would take Florida in the points. Florida ain't winning this game, but I'll take. You gonna give Florida 22.5 points?
But they beat them pretty bad last year, though.
Yeah, because that was also Anthony Richards' first start ever.
Was it?
Yep.
So I think we have somebody is in our video.
What are you gonna
say? Hello to Jamison. We're doing our SEC Porch Picks.
Hey, look, there's me. Hey, don't mind me, guys.
I think Tony's up there. Tony, you can come in. Mark didn't see you standing there.
Best SEC update video ever.
So, yeah, I don't think Florida's not going to sneak up on Georgia, okay? They know, everybody knows that the big game's next week between Georgia and Tennessee, but I still just don't see Florida sneaking
Tennessee's
up
got a big game this weekend.
Tennessee does have a big one.
Those Pussycats have gotten a little wild over the year.
It's going to be bigger. Let's make that their final one. Let's talk about that.
All right.
Let's go to Arkansas and Auburn.
I still don't think Florida wins. I would take Florida the points. Arkansas and Auburn. These teams are closer than what we thought they would have been at the beginning of the season. Arkansas's defense has kind of been pretty spotty throughout the year,
especially the secondary.
And then if KJ Jefferson's out, their offense is also out too.
He's playing.
But I don't think that there's a shot in hell that Auburn pulls this game out. I'm going to go with Arkansas all the way.
Okay. I'm going to, this be my spoiler, I'm going to pick Auburn to beat Arkansas. I think we're really weird. So I'm from the state of Alabama, and so I follow Auburn pretty closely. And if you don't, just Jordan Hare is the Bermuda Triangle of weird football stuff happening. There's just crazy stuff happens in that stadium, and I think they're close enough. And I think
not with KJ Jefferson.
I think both of them are desperate. I think Auburn can pull this out, so I'm going with Auburn.
I mean, Arkansas did go to BYU. Yeah, he's trying to call me through Messenger. Jeff, all you have to do is say that you want to join the live stream.
Invite him on. Poor fella. Can you invite him on? It says probably says over there somewhere to invite on. So you got Auburn, I got Arkansas.
All right, and then we've got Missouri, South Carolina.
I don't know that.
You know what? I'm going to go out and say Missouri wins this game. That's my upset pick. South Carolina's been playing pretty good. I don't think that they've been playing good enough to beat Missouri, though.
South Carolina is the worst 6-2 team in the country. They did sneak up and beat Texas A&M, but they had
a lot of help.
They had a lot of help. They spotted them. Texas A&M spotted them. 14 or 17,
something like that.
And
then had a shot to win it at the end.
And South Carolina didn't pee a drop after that. I started watching that game after the Alabama game went off, and it was just like it was two second-grade girls in a fist fight. It was like this right here. One of them's going to land a smack somewhere and, knock the other one out.
Hi, Jamison. Cut the video again.
So, I will say, I'm going to go with South Carolina. Both of them are just not very good. And people will talk about South Carolina's victory over Kentucky. Well, they didn't have Will Levis then.
They didn't. They didn't.
That's a different team.
I don't know that...
but I can see how you go with Missouri.
I don't know that South Carolina is a very good... Spencer Rattler is just terrible.
Right, he is terrible.
He is the absolute worst quarterback in the SEC right now.
How did Oklahoma recruit you, Spencer Rattler?
You
got a cool name and cool hair.
A lot of money is how they got him. Ole Miss, Texas A&M. So does Ole Miss bounce back and just run roughshod over Texas A&M?
Let me tell you, old Gumbo Fisher's about to get 2 or 3 in a row. How many in a row has he lost? Gumbo, I don't know. I think people like Gumbo and Ed Orgeron.
I don't know who this Gumbo. I know Jimbo Fisher.
Gumbo Fisher. He was down in Louisiana for a while. Gumbo Fisher.
Your coach's offensive coordinator.
So
with the national championship at Louisiana.
People always knock in this country. There's like Merle Haggard. There's people always running this country down. I want you to look at Ed Orgeron, Ed Moron, Gumbo Fisher, and the kind of money they've made coaching a boys game, and tell me this country ain't great. Somebody that dumb can make millions of dollars. Gumbo Fisher.
Some people say that about real estate agents.
If he doesn't, well, that's true. I
don't know why you nodding at me. Again, I've said this before. I'm the better looking option between the two of us.
Anyway.
Look. I don't think that Texas A&M beats Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss gets back into the offensive mode, which apparently they forgot how to do last week, and just beat Texas A&M. Now, the last game that we've got is the game that you wanted to hold on to, Tennessee and Kentucky. Will Levis is back.
Levis is back.
They still don't have an offensive line. It's got a bunch of holes in it.
Chris Rodriguez is a good running back.
Yeah, but he hasn't done much since he's been back either because for some reason you got to have an offensive line to block people so that your tailback and your quarterback can do what they're supposed to do. It's funny how that works.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think that I don't think Kentucky has a chance.
No, I don't
at all.
I don't think Kentucky wins.
I would be surprised if Hyatt doesn't score 4 more touchdowns against Kentucky.
I think it could be a real high-scoring game, though.
I don't think it'll be that at all.
Tennessee's defense is not very good.
You know, everybody keeps saying that. It's been good enough to win every game so far.
I know, but they let Tennessee Martin score 24 points, dude. Did you watch that game?
The starters were done by the middle of the second quarter. They were pulling people out like, hey, you
no, they didn't because they didn't have any backups. Their defense already had 8 people out.
And that should tell you something. They were resting everybody. Look, you just got off the game of Alabama, and you have UT Martin. Are you really going to roll your starters out for UT Martin? You roll your offense so it stays clicking, but you need to get the depth going on the defense. So you play your depth against UT Martin so that they get some live action.
Probably about 60 or 70
That's
points.
not me trying to promote Tennessee. I hope they lose every game from here forward. But just looking at it, Tennessee's going to beat Kentucky.
They are. But it's going to be...
It's not going to be close. It's not going to be close.
It'll probably be a 10-point ball game.
I'll give you that. To me, that's still not close.
Hey, Will Wranglers is going to get out there and he's going to pick them apart a little bit. So, you know, I don't think Kentucky wins.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, Kentucky doesn't. To me, they don't have a shot this year.
Will Wranglers.
It's not that they're rolling out a wide receiver to play quarterback and then they go out and beat Tennessee like they did. What was that? 5, 6, 7 years ago?
Will Wranglers. I mean Levis. He's gonna score. He's a tough guy.
He is a tough guy. I think that he's probably the.
Jeff says Vols with the spread.
Oh, Jeff's taking the Vols with the spread. He can't get on here, but he can sure comment. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. We're technologically
inclined.
Declined.
Yeah.
Declined.
All right, so let's just run through them real quick again. I've got Arkansas. You have Auburn. We both have Georgia, even though I don't like that because nobody likes Georgia winning. You went with South Carolina. I went with Missouri. We both have Tennessee, and we both have Ole Miss. Yep. So we've got 2 games that we differ on this week.
Yeah. I can't remember what we differed on last week, but...
Not much.
Yeah. Not much.
All right, guys.
Let's go with favorites.
If you really want to talk to us about what we know about, which is real estate, give us a call.
Yes, we do.
Well, some of us do.